This episode is brought to you by Snap Guam Studios. Film photography is making a comeback on Island. One of the questions I get ever since I started film photography is where I get my roles developed. Snap Guam is a Guam based photography and videography studio that offers film development and scanning services. They also have a variety of different film stocks like Kodak Gold and my favorite, Portra 800. Want to start getting into film photography? They also sell film cameras from SLRs to rangefinders and disposables. Get your film developed by Snapguam Studio today. Contact them on Instagram at snap.film.record_gu. This episode is brought to you by D-Day Studios. D-Day Studios is a local photography and videography service run by, well, me. And this is my podcast, so shameless plug. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at D-Day Studio 670 and send me a message if you want to take some bomb photos today. Again, that is D-Day Studio 670 on Instagram. Now back to the episode. Sinky clap. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Dusk Down podcast. I'm joined today by a man who normally needs no introduction. He is unapologetically himself. Whenever I see him, somehow, some way, we end up dancing in the room. This man right here, I've known for the past few years. We went to college together. He is Mr. Evander De Guzman. Half a day, Evander.
Hey, half a day. Thank you so much for having me here.
How'd you like the intro?
Dude, honestly, that's so genuine of you. That is so genuine. I literally felt that.
Thank you. Can you put the mic just a little closer, just a little bit? There we go.
Right there? That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
man, we want to hear your voice.
Oh, for sure.
We want to hear. I forgot how deep your voice is, Park.
No, I honestly, it's just me. It's just me right now. But sometimes I can, like, when I get excited, my tone or my pitch actually goes like squeaky.
No, I feel you. You know when the accent comes out, right?
Yeah.
Especially when we're a little Balatsi, you know.
Dude, no, honestly, yeah. Us Filipinos were. I don't even get looked as a Filipino. Sometimes people mistake me as like Chamorro or Japanese.
Did you think I was Chamorro when we met?
Yeah. But then when you told me that you were from Saipan, I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense because honestly, like a lot of people who come from Saipan, from the people that I met, like the accent is really strong. But even though like you're Filipino, but you get mistaken as Chamorro.
Dude, I also, I'm brown, so like my skin tone is like similar. Plus, like for backstory, we had intro to communications together. That's our class.
We did.
A butt ton of us were from Saipan in that class.
Mm-hmm.
Like funny story, like Evander, it's in the back and he'd see me playing game on my laptop.
I try not to be a snitch, dude. I try not to be a snitch, though. Like I was trying to not laugh because your ass was literally like playing games in the front of class, and our professor's literally right in front of you.
But I was quick with it, bro.
You were slick. Dude. You were slick. I don't know how you got away with that,
dude. Because I'd be like typing and then like, listen, okay, I want to play the game. I'll be typing again. Play the game.
I even remember like there were times where it's like late at night, and you would text me like, "What's the assignment that's due tomorrow?" I'm like, I don't know, man. You would know if you were not playing too busy on your damn laptop.
Hey,
man.
but I passed.
You did.
I got what was it, B plus, A minus?
Yeah, even though you like did a lot of side stuff you still got a good grade.
Right.
So can't get mad at that.
It was pre-pandemic, so that was another reason why.
That's actually true. Yeah.
So I mentioned earlier that you're into dancing, right?
Yeah.
You're part of Kuya Hood?
Yes, sir.
What made you get into dancing? Before we get into Kuya Hood,
yeah.
What made you get into dancing?
Honestly, I thought that dance was kind of like my thing that I wanted to do since I was going to like high school and everything. But because I was like a 3-quarter sport athlete, I did not have enough time to. My schedule for practice and schedule for dance did not like match because it happened at the same time. So, first quarter I did cross country. We always practice from like 4 to 6 p.m. and that's the same time as dance practice for school. Then third quarter I did basketball, and then fourth quarter I did track and field. Same usual time. We always practice directly after high school, and I would always see some of my friends be part of the dance team, and I was like, man, that's really interesting. I wish I could dance, like be a part of the dance team and everything. And then college came around, and I was actually in the student government, and one of my Kuya Hood boys, his name is Leo Diaz's. He actually came to me and asked to start up a collegiate dance team called the Tritons Collective at the time, but right now it's renamed as the Collective Dance Team. But back then, when I first saw him and a bunch of like other dancers like create this organization and this dance team, I was like, man, I'm so inspired. like there's a bunch of like people. He actually made a platform for people like post high school, um, have like a safe place to perform the art of dance. And they did R&B, hip hop, and I was just like, damn, that's pretty fun. So after my term in SG, I was like, what's something that I didn't get to do in high school that I want to do before I graduate from college? And I was like, dude, let's do TC. Let's go do some dancing. And when I first auditioned, I saw them, and they recorded my audition. I was stiff as hell. I was like,
for my earliest memory of you,
yeah,
other than all of us dapping each other up, and I met you in that class. My earliest memory of you, we were walking to our communications class, and I just see you just before TikTok was a thing. I just see this guy just body rolling.
hey,
I'm just like, yo, and we were under 21 at the time.
we
too.
were under
I'm like,
the age of 21.
I'm like, is this guy lit already? Dude? I'm like, we could. Is he down to pay the $20 to go into Globe at the time? Because we don't have, they won't make money off of us.
No, I'm telling you, like, I think the time when we were all going to school, I think there was also like a few times during class where we were like, man, we're so stressed with class. I think we should go clubbing over the weekend to just to de-stress.
Right, but I never joined because I was, and we'll get into that later. So I'm very shy. Like, it wasn't until I joined the media, until I joined the Pacific News Center, that I kind of broke out of my shell. I'm still shy to now, this very moment, but like, it comes to the territory of being a creative. Most people I know that are in our field, they're actually very shy.
Yeah.
Until they turn on the work mode or like
it's crazy.
mode.
It's crazy how you bring up that you're shy, because when I first met you, it's like you were so outgoing, like your personality. Like I really vibe with it a lot.
Because there was like, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 people from Saipan.
Yeah.
So I was already and we're all in that little corner.
Yeah.
Like so I was like, you know what? I'm chilling because I know like everyone here, and then I'm like, oh, here's the token Gumi.
Hey, I would like to consider myself honorary Saipan, because those are the first few friends that I made in college were from Saipan.
And we were welcoming. I remember when I first came here, everyone was like, if you show that you're wearing Saipan merch, you're gonna get a job. I said, no way. When I came here and I was repping Saipan, everyone was like, hey, where'd you score that shirt? I'm like, Saipan, par.
Yeah.
Jotin Superstore, Costco. You don't got that here?
I call myself honorary Saipan, but I've never been to Saipan at all.
We're gonna change that once the flights become cheaper again.
Dude, oh my gosh, it's so expensive.
We might as well go.
I just realized it is expensive to just go from here to Saipan.
Par $400 round trip.
400?
400 or 500.
Bro, we can go to Korea for like 200 some for just Jeju.
I know.
And that's further from Guam.
I know. So that's why I don't go home.
You don't go home?
I stay here, dude. That's why it's my home now. I love Guam, but like, sometimes I miss the flame tree. I miss my dog army back home. But yeah, to go back on track, wait, this is what happens now when my ADHD is not in check. So we share similarity in that you wanted to do things that you couldn't do in high school.
Yeah.
In your case, it's dancing, right?
Yeah.
But like, how did that come about? You said you were stiff when you were watching the recording. How did it go from you being like, in my opinion, I can't. I'm not a dancer, so I was like, the guy don't look stiff to me, dude. Like, he looks like he's flowing, But like, how did that transition into you? I see your TikToks. I see you posting with the boys at Kuya Hood. How did that transition go about?
I think it's more of just having some talks and having a bonding with like the people that I dance with. What I learned about the dance community is that even though like you are at a different age, or you come from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different cultures and everything, dance brings a lot of people together. And I met so many good people through dance. And I technically started dancing in 2019, so it's about 5 years since I've been dancing. And it's just so cool to meet different people and just to have that little bond, even though you just met them for like the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It feels like you've known them for like months or years. And that's how like deep that connection of that dance really gets you with other people. And I think one little story that I had or conversation was with Leo and Rusty. Rustin. He's also in Kuya Hood. He's one of the creators for Kuya Hood. They just said, like, don't think about the choreo. Just just have fun. If you're too much focused on the choreography, you're not really gonna add your own like artistry or your own flavor into it. You're just gonna be like a robot. Don't be a robot. So I'm like, honestly, I never thought of it that way. So ever since that, I always kept that message that they gave to me when we had that sit down conversation, and I just let it flow. I just be me, and I just learned the dance, but I try not to be too much on the choreography and just be more open with myself. Like put some van into it, you know?
I like that. Put some van into it. But so we're gonna talk about Rusty real quick.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I worked with him for like a week while I was at Calvin Klein.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, for just that 1 week I was there because I left to go to Macy's because they're offering me more money. But like, but like he was a cool guy for that 1 week I was there. And then next thing I know, I didn't know he was a dancer. Then I see him on your Instagram story, and now he's dancing for Golden State.
Yeah.
How did you feel as his boy? Do you think like that now inspires you that you can go further than your degree and you could actually? Are you thinking like whatever you're doing? It could be dance, it could be, and we're gonna talk about your Twitch. We're gonna talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
But do you think now you could like? It's possible to go global.
Oh, definitely. Honestly, like Rusty, for one, he is such an inspiration. Like, I can honestly share it because he kind of made it public when he got interviewed by KUAM. The first year he auditioned for the Golden State Warriors, he didn't make it, and he talked with me in the Kuyas, and he vented to us like it was really hard and everything, but we just told him to not give up, and he had that courage to really give it another chance. And when he did, and he got the call, and then they made the announcement on the Golden State Warriors page, I was like, yo, this is insane. We actually have someone that's from Guam that I actually personally danced with and had a personal connection with be a part of the NBA. I think that's so surreal. I think a lot of people nowadays really get discouraged easily when it comes to newer opportunities or when it comes to the big stage. And Rusty is one of the prime examples of, hard work always pays off, and you just got to be patient with it. If you don't make it on the first try, there's always another time. Fall 9 times, get up 10 times.
For real, yeah. And then I was telling people so I am not a 3/4 athlete. If you couldn't tell, but like in high school, but I made varsity tennis not because there was no JV. We barely had enough members to have a varsity team, but yeah, I made it. So technically, I'm a jock.
Yeah.
But like, I was just there to fill in the numbers, But like, come to find out, the people I was playing with, they were ranked nationally, like in the thousands. But like, you think thousands, that's not a lot, but thousands in the state.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's for Saipan, they're ranked now. I'm like, so what else can we do? And that's part of that, like later translated here into Guam. Like, I got a few people who like, even though I don't really like her music, like I respect her a lot because she came from here humble beginnings. Like Pia Mia, who has like global reach nowadays. So I'm like, do you think now are you planning to try and go global with like your Twitch?
Honestly, it's a long shot. My Twitch channel is just more for like a side thing. I do enjoy. I have such a passion and love for video games. I grew up playing with the Nintendo 64, PS2, the Xbox 360 when it was the original Kinect. Oh my gosh, like that was just my childhood. And then I think it was during the pandemic where I had a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 4, and me and my boys were like, hey, we're all in lockdown. Let's rock it on Call of Duty. Let's play some Warzone. And I think that during that time, like Call of Duty was at its peak, and they were like, Van, why don't you try connecting your PS4 to Twitch and try to stream? I'm like, wait, that's possible? I'm like, yeah, it's possible. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. So I searched them on YouTube, how to stream Twitch on your PS4. And little did I know that all I had to do was just create a profile and just connect with my PS4. There was no setup, no special wires, no software needed. It literally has a software that's already installed in the PS4 for you to stream. And I'm like, yo, that's so cool. And then like you can set it to the point where you can see your chat on your TV. I'm like, what? Like, I'm broke. I didn't work. I had no equipment. I was like, you know what? start somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Definitely start somewhere. And so my first stream, I think I streamed Apex Legends, right? And there was about, I think, 11 people that hopped onto my stream, and I never posted it. That's the thing. I never posted publicly. I just shared it with my close friends on Instagram. And then when I read some of the comments, I'm like, I see a few that are my friends, but I see some that are random. So I'm like, who the heck are you people, right? Like, how'd you find my stream? This is my first time streaming on a ghetto PS4, and you want
Ghetto.
to?
I don't even have PS4. When everyone got the PS3, my mom found the PS1 in the garage sale, and that's how I got it. A ghetto.
No, because like during the time everyone had PC. They had all these graphics cards. I'm like, man,
Fair.
I'm like they have all these fancy cameras, this lighting. Man, I was like, and I had no webcam. I think the first image that I had was Kratos from God of War, his head being my show to for my own Twitch stream. I'm like, man, this looks ghetto as hell. But you know what? I'm still getting some views, and then after a few runs of my Twitch stream on PS4, I realized that I got an achievement. I'm like, well, what's this achievement for? Like, I'm like 2 steps closer to an affiliate. I'm like, what's an affiliate? And then I found out with an affiliate, you actually get paid. I'm like, what? You can get subscriptions and stuff. I'm like, okay, you know what? I think that's gonna be my hustle because I'm going to school and I want to try to make some like side money by any chance. So it took me about a year to get to an affiliate, and it's really tough. It really is
bet.
tough, yeah.
But we're not gonna talk about like how much you get paid there. But the fact is, you're getting some revenue off of it, just a little bit.
Yeah. It covers my gas.
You know, that means he's getting paid a lot. Cause like,
I mean, it's five. Okay, just to break it down for you, like you get paid not just by like subscriptions, but even like ads that pop up on your Twitch. Even the amount of people that watch your stream too, by the amount of time that they spend on watching you. So that's another way of revenue as well. So it really depends.
oh,
It really depends.
usually like now what I'm gonna do, because I was told about before, but like I forget.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just gonna keep my homies Twitch up so they can get. I'm like, I may or may not watch, but like I'm just gonna have it up so they could get some money off of that.
No, honestly, I think one of the hacks that I found out was like if you really want to meet the certain amount of years to get affiliate, just open up like 5 different laptops and just pop your stream open. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
See,
Why didn't I think of that?
so now what we can do is just open up our phones.
Yeah, we can. It's that easy.
Oh my god! So my Twitch channel will be. We're gonna catch me and Van and I playing Valorant.
Oh man.
Catch me playing Yoru, and I will be so toxic.
Oh my gosh. I was literally playing Valorant before I got here.
Who's your main?
My main, so I'm a initiator or smokes. So for initiator, my one is either Fade or Sova. And smokes is Brim or actually mainly it's just Brim. Yeah.
Dang, I'm Yoru. I just unlocked Neon.
You're Lock Neon?
Yeah, because I'm like my personality. I'm very hard. I just go in.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to play Omen, but like I'm not fast enough. Just like in IRL, I'm very slow.
Dude,
But, like,
Omen is scary to play.
I know. I'm watching Tens play him, but like, oh my gosh! See, again, we're going sidetrack.
Oh my bad.
But do you stream Valo also?
I do. I only started playing Valorant for a little under a year now. I think it's what got me inspired was watching Tens for one. Watching Tens.
Our king.
I have like about 2 friends that also stream that are local streamers. Claudzie, or her name is Claudia, and her name is Tiffany. Her Twitch name is Tiff Panini. Yeah.
Shout out to them.
So shout out to Tiff Panini and it's Claudzie. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I think they started streaming during the pandemic, and I think right now they have over 1,000 followers. And I think Tiff got rated by It's Timmy.
It's Timmy's.
He's a Valorant pro streamer and even in Apex, and he's under 100 Thieves and sponsored by Red Bull. So he rated Tiffany's stream, I think last year, and had over I think 7,000 people watching. So 7,000 people rated her. So that's pretty insane for a small island. It goes back to the conversation of like making it globally and being recognized.
Right.
So like that's just another prime example of Tiffany also.
My
So
gosh.
she's pretty cool. I really admire her grind on the Twitch
App-
environment. Yeah.
So, future project. If you want to see the four of us play Valorant, be sure to stay tuned. But Van talked about him being a student, and we're gonna actually go into more detail about that. How he's actually balancing, because he's also a full-time employee. He's also going to school full-time. You're a graduate student, right?
Yeah, I'm a master's student. Yeah.
See, and I didn't finish school yet. So
Hey man, there's no race. There's no deadline on when to finish school.
I know, but our credits expire after 10 years.
How many years has it been?
You're calling me old? Like
No, bro, we're technically the same age, bro.
I stopped. I think I did not. I paused in 2021. But we'll go into more detail about that. Oh, producer saying we got time. So I don't know. I'm seeing 15 minutes here. So talk about that. Like, how are you balancing school and going to work? It helps that you're nearby. So like,
It does help that I'm nearby because I do go to school at the place. So the place that I work is the same place I go to school. So it's pretty unique and very fortunate for me. I'm very blessed to have that type of opportunity. But I just want to say that it is really tough. It's so tough to balance school and work, and I really commend like those that are doing their undergrad as a part-time or even like a full-time student and managing a part-time job. That is so tough.
dude, remember? I think it was around that 2019. I got
Mhm.
robbed, and then
I forgot that happened.
yeah, they stole my laptop, and right before midterms, my fault. I trust people too
Didn't
much.
you have a Wii in there too?
No. People, it was guitars.
Oh, it was a guitar.
People
Okay.
But like people thought I had a Switch in there. I bought the Switch after when I had money.
Oh.
But like, so I got robbed right before midterms hit, and people were like, "Why don't you just buy a cheap laptop?" I said, "No, even if it's $100 laptop, that's $100. I'm gonna buy a Mac
Yeah.
that I stopped using because now I got a gaming laptop.
Yeah.
I wasted my money. I should have bought the Mac Pro. I bought an Air. Anyway, I bought that. I didn't have a laptop. Sorry. In the middle, right before midterms hit, I was taking all upper division classes, and I was going to school. I was going to school full time, and I was part time at the spot I was working at before the pandemic.
Yeah.
But they gave me full time hours. I was working like 35, 40 hours a week.
That's insane.
So I was doing both full time. I think my schedule was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, school at 5 o'clock.
That's insane.
Then Tuesday, Thursday would be 9 to 3.
Mhm.
So Tuesday, Thursday, I would work. I would be off from work. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would work in the morning,
Yeah.
and then I'd be on. If they need me on call for extra hours, I would work at nighttime at the retail store I was working at, and then weekend. So I never really had an off.
Yeah.
So we had Althea, our good friend, Miss
Yeah.
Thea. Shout out to her again.
Shout out there.
She was working 2 jobs right out of high school, going to school full time, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's so tough.
right? But do you think that it helps that, and the culture here in Guam is very family orientated? Do you think that it helps that you live with your mom right now and like, you don't have to worry. Like if you want to buy the groceries, you can. If she buys the groceries, you don't have to stress about that.
Yeah, well, the one promise that I did with my mom is that once I graduate with my undergrad, that I would take care of all the bills. I'll take care of everything because first and foremost, like me and my 2 older siblings are first-gen college students. My mom and dad never went to college. So they really sacrificed a lot to get us to where we are today. And since I graduated, I was very blessed and fortunate. A little under a month after graduating from UOG, I was offered a job already. I'm like, whoa, like, you know what? It's not really in my field, like, because I entered at public health, and I went straight to working at UOG. I'm like, you know what? Let's start somewhere because I want to make money already.
Right.
So I worked in the financial aid office for about a good 6 to 7 months.
So you can clear my debt?
I wish. I wish I could, but that's what a lot of people joke around me like, dude, can you just clear my student loans. I'm like, I wish I could do that. And then after 6 to 7 months, I got promoted to run an office.
Snap.
So I work as the student life coordinator for the university, and it's a pretty hectic job because I overlook a lot of student organizations. I do disciplinary counseling. I do outreaches. I do recruitment. It's such a hassle, and then to top it all off with school. I mean, it's nothing compared to like what you guys went through during undergrad, like having morning classes. Like my own are all graduate classes are in the evening.
Right.
They're in the evening, but the thing is that it makes me sick of school. It makes me sick of the workplace because I'm literally there from 8 to 5, and then my class is from 5:30 to 9 p.m. So I'm there for 13 hours.
Remember, I lived at the dorms. So I was there 24/7.
I know. I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, that's
And I'm the
true.
one who's always late to class too.
You were late to class and you stayed at the dorms. You were literally down the road.
Dude, because it's a mile walk.
That's true. Not compared to like other mainland universities, honestly.
I know, but like, I'm fluffy, right? So like,
It's okay. No excuses, bro.
dude, you see me waddling to class, and then I remember I would go in, dude, just sweats, a snapback.
Dude, I remember you walked in with Zori's too. I'm like, bro, for free, your toes are popping out,
Dude,
bro.
yes. Free
Hey,
advertisement.
before toes became a thing, it started with Don when he walked with slippers in our communications class. That's where it originated from. Okay.
We're gonna get into some deeper topics right after this quick break.
This episode is brought to you by Snap Guam Studios. Film photography is making a comeback on Island. One of the questions I get ever since I started film photography is where I get my roles developed. Snap Guam is a Guam-based photography and videography studio that offers film development and scanning services. They also have a variety of different film stocks like Kodak Gold and my favorite, Portra 800. Want to start getting into film photography? They also sell film cameras from SLRs to rangefinders and disposables. Get your film developed by Snap Guam Studio today. Contact them on Instagram at snap.film.record_gu. This episode is brought to you by D-Day Studios. D-Day Studios is a local photography and videography service run by, well, me. And this is my podcast, so shameless plug. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at D-Day Studio 670 and send me a message if you want to take some bomb photos today. Again, that is D-Day Studio 670 on Instagram. Now back to the episode.
Welcome back. We're from our short little break. It's been 10-15 minutes. We're having a good time tonight.
Oh yeah.
So right before the break, we talked about how we're going to get into a little more serious topic. So Vander and I kind of bond over this. Some of you, I've been very public on my socials about it. My mom passed away 2 years ago, and that's one of the driving factors into what I do now, like in terms of reaching out, trying to, live my dream because my mom wasn't able to hers. So I'm trying to make her live vicariously through me, you know. And Van's something he can relate with, and something that, do you think that's a driving force in what you do?
Yeah. So I lost my dad when I was 18, and I think that was a pretty significant moment in my life because it didn't really hit me that much, only because I had I had to somewhat prepare for it. So like when I was 4 years old, my dad got heart surgery, and the doctors from the Philippines told him that he only has about 10 years to live, and that was from 2002 to 2012. So 2012 was actually supposed to be his due date, right? But fortunately, he was able to live an extra 4 years. And significantly, that was those 4 years were my high school years. So I felt like, not to put any religion into it, but I felt like God was like blessing him to, like, at least watch me graduate at least one time with his only son, right? So a year, I think the beginning of my senior year, he pulled me to the side and he was like, "Boy, I feel like my time is coming up, and I want you to prepare yourself. I want you to be ready. I know you're just entering your adulthood after you graduate, but I need you to be ready. I need you to take care of your mom and take care of your sisters." And I'm like, "Why are you telling me this?" Like, me, I'm very immature. Like, I'm only 17 at the time. I'm only like starting, my senior year, doing sports, just hanging out with friends. And why do I have to be an adult right away, right? So time came around. I think it was like the first 2 weeks of my college career, my college journey. That's when he passed away. And honestly, it was a turning point where I actually had to take things a lot more serious because I did make a promise saying that I will finish my college education, and then as soon as I graduate, I will take care of my mom. And then that was the beginning of my college career, and then at the end of my college career, near graduation, I lost my oldest sister to cancer. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2020 during the pandemic, and man, that I think losing my sister was actually like the hardest part because you know I had the mindset of saying, okay, I know that I'm gonna lose my dad. At least for the long run, my mom and my two sisters will be there for the rest of my journey, right? Then sometimes life happens and things come up unexpectedly, and yeah, it was just out of nowhere because in my family history, we there's no case of cancer in neither my mom or dad's side. So my sister's case was the very first cancer case in our family history. So you know, you can never say never with a lot of things, but with that being said, like it just makes me appreciate, you know, not just my family, but everyone that I meet, everyone that has been a part of my life. I always do my best to try to, you know, I always give everyone that I meet a chance of my own trust and my own respect until they give me a reason not to give it to them. So it's a life learning thing for me moving on forward, and I shouldn't like you know make the loss of my family like the pain be a burden and carry that with me. At some point I have to move on. I have to work. I have to like provide for my family. So that's the most I can actually do right now. So yeah, pretty. That's what the journey's been.
No, I feel you, man. Because one of the things that and it's one of the quick personal story. I was looking through old photos of with my mom, and I part of the reason why I became a photographer and kind of regret it's like you never have enough.
Yeah,
You never have enough photos. You never have enough memories. Like especially like more so now video. That's also why I got into video work because I'm like, man,
yeah,
sometimes I just want to hear my mom's voice.
yeah,
So one of the things that I admired about you and like Thea and people who I bring on, they're unapologetically them. You know what I mean? Do you think that's also why, not why, but like that's part of the reason why you're like, it's been what, how many years since you and I talked and met? And we don't talk on a consistent basis. Like, we're boys, but like,
yeah.
it's not like a daily thing, but like,
Hmm.
you're the same guy I met in communications class while I busted out my laptop playing Tekken on the PSP emulator. Do you think that, you know, you being such a family man and you attributing growing up so early, that's why you're unapologetically yourself?
Well, it's more of just not being just apologetically myself, but it's more of just you just got to be real. And if you try to be someone else in front of different people, at some point they're going to find out who you are in the long run. And that's why you just got to be true. The more you stay true to yourself, the more genuine you're going to be, more appearing to other people, to the public, and to your family. Because the people that you meet, you don't know what type of impact they're going to have in your life. Whether if you meet them for the first 5 minutes and you don't see them anymore, at some point they're going to play a role in your life. Whether if it's what you're going to decide to do for work the next day, what you plan to do in the next few weeks, or what you're going to do for the rest of your day at that time. It's it's really just being who you are, staying true to yourself, and knowing why you're here, the purpose of why you're here. It's really just being that genuine person to your family, to your friends, and everyone that you meet. It's not about putting that facade, because again, like I said, if you put on the facade and you try to be something or someone that you're not, later on people will find out, and it's really going to be a backlash. And that's the last thing we ever want in our life is a backlash.
No, for real. And we were talking about in the break, like when I was an anchor and when I was in the news, some people were like, you're so serious there, but we know that's not the real you. But I'm like, there's two. I like to think there's two different me. Both of them are me. Like you got the, if you add me on Discord or you see me on Valorant, add me. Yo, it's done, RJ. But like, uh, on Valorant and on my other socials. We'll plug in Vanzone in a bit because he
Yeah.
deserves the spotlight. But
Yeah.
like, like the potty humor, foul mouth, Don Sulet, who's also mentally 16, is also the same Don Sulet that likes to talk about political issues, talk about stuff like this, where we get into a business grind mindset, and also talk about serious topics because like that's me. So I'm trying to learn to mold the two because like people when I don't want people to think I'm fake, and that's when I saw you out there. They again, I'll bring these people up. Uh, they're they're them, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can joke around with them, but when it's time to get serious, I know that's them. They're coming from a sincere place.
Yeah.
So to that's why I'm like, I'm very appreciative of people like you who are like, when I first, you say you didn't get into dancing, like you weren't in the dance group right when we met around that time, but you were dancing, man. I could tell, you could have fooled me. Oh, then again, I don't dance unless you get a few Patron shots.
Patron shots.
Kashmir Zo, that's the time.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like, I saw you were like, you say you're stiff, but to me, I'm like, this guy is loose, man, because he's him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's when I think Evander, I think the guy who's not ashamed to just out of nowhere bust out and smooth.
Nah.
So, do you think that having to grow up early is also like attributing to you being kind of like, I'm not gonna say carefree, but it's like, you live a serious, like you're serious about what you do, you're serious about your passion,
Yeah.
but like you also don't take life too serious.
Yeah. Yeah. I try my best to not taking life way too serious because we do want to have fun. We do want to like live life at the moment. Yeah, I was kind of forced to grow up at such a young age, and I wouldn't say like I had it rough because I know there are other people who have lost family members at such a young age, or probably never grew up with parents, or never had any siblings. But at some point, like you're gonna have to learn how to not just grow up, but also to learn to adapt to live in the moment at where you're at right now. Like, yeah, I'm not ashamed. I'm 26, and I feel like my knees are like crumbling to the point where like my joints are hurting. But I know a lot of people that are gonna watch this podcast are gonna be like, you need to shut your damn mouth.
I work with the elderly people, right? And then like the other week, I sat up too fast, and then both my knees popped. Right, but I didn't make a sound other than the knees popping.
Yeah.
And then they go, "Boy, you're only how old are you? Turning 27. Boy, you're too young to have your knees pop." I'm like, what do you want? I didn't plan for them to pop.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, again, like it really just we just need to learn how to live life in the moment and try to appreciate the age that we're living in right now. Because if we tend to take life too seriously, then we're going to limit our freedom. We're going to limit our time to have fun. And because if people like keep their vision in a narrow tunnel vision, they're going to be focused on one certain thing, and they're not going to really have that whole picture of opportunities that they can have, not just for like their goals and their aspirations, but even like something that is like for some me time, personal time, like something that'll help you relax, something that will make you enjoy life and everything. So I think that's me right now. That's me. Like I work, I try to provide for my family. Like me going to school, it really cut off a lot of my social battery or my social life because, man, I'm at the school like 13 hours a day, 3 to 4 times out of the week, and that's really tough. And all I want is some sleep. But like this is only for a temporary amount of time. Like I'm only gonna go to school for about 2 years. I already graduated my master's in next year May already. So like as soon as I'm done with my master's, I can go back to like doing the things that I want to do, like go back to the gym. Like man, I used to go to the gym
I
consistently.
remember, man. That was pre-pandemic.
It
right?
was no, not pre-pandemic. It was post-pandemic
Post-
actually.
oh yeah, you're wearing the mask. So
Yes,
that's when the gyms open back up.
Yes, exactly. So I was so consistent with the gym, but then when I started going and doing my master's, like I want to go to the gym, but I need like my sleep.
No, I feel you. And in an earlier podcast, I talk about how like people can find time to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But and I was mentioning it with our last guest, DJ Pogi, that don't get me wrong, life happens. You it's hard to find time when you're already so busy.
Yeah.
But like, don't get me. I even though you're not going to the gym, I see you. Like sometimes you're taking a walk or you're dancing. That's still cardio. You're still trying to be healthy. I see you your meal when you post your meal preps. You know,
Yeah.
like you're trying to find time to get back in the groove. And
Yeah.
that's why people think when I say, and I'm still fluffy, but like when I say there's time in the day to go work out, there's time in the day to
Hmm.
play a video game, decompress. People think that I'm talking about hours. No, I'm talking about like when I say work out, I'm like, no, you can take a 5 minute walk here or there.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to. It's hard to find like major chunks of time. I get it.
Yeah.
Like I live alone, dude. Like if I don't dedicate time to cook, there's no way I'm gonna find time to exercise. I mean, mom and dad are
Yeah.
not gonna cook for me. My dog ain't gonna cook for me. I might cook my dog, but like,
Yeah.
I named her original name was Emergency Dinner because I got her the Saturday right before my war hit. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
holding up this puppy. I was like, worst comes to worst, Nami, you're gonna be Shopao, but like, but like, like, again, like, just because people can't, they think they can't dedicate an hour, which I get.
Yeah.
You probably can't, but you can find time to do, like a quick walk here or there.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
see it. Look, you're finding time to come out here, which I very appreciate. And I was telling Sathea, I'm very big on people's time because time. You could be doing something. You could be sleeping.
Yeah.
You could be going to the gym. You could be doing whatever
Yeah.
else. Yeah, I'm very thankful for you and my guests who come here and dedicate their time
Yeah.
to this podcast. But I tell people not to feel bad if they can't dedicate
Yeah.
like a quarter of their day or like 10% of their day
Hmm.
to doing something that clearly they want to do, but they can't. They can't dedicate a full hour to. But I see you still it's not like before during the pandemic, but you're still Twitch streaming every now and then.
Yeah.
And then you're still exercising like here and there, and you're trying to be health conscious. And didn't you major in graduate physical health? Your undergrad?
Yeah. My bachelor was actually under health science, exercise science, and health promotion. Yeah. So that was that was like a major that like I was like very blessed to be a part of like a lot of sports events and everything. So that's the first thing that came up to my mind was like, what's the one thing that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy doing growing up that I really want to like pursue and promote when I go and graduate from university, and that was health science. Um, it's something that I really want to promote more better, but it's more than just like physical fitness and eating healthy. There were times where like I had to focus on like a certain aspect that gets overlooked a lot, and so I focus on mental health. So the health promotion aspect of my major focused on mental health, and I took all the electives that I needed to, as much electives as I can, that focus on mental, so like psychology, human biology and behavior, deviance and social control. Yeah, there's just a handful of them, and fortunately, unfortunately, it did happen, which was the pandemic. The pandemic really made a lot of people depressed. It really, like when people were in lockdown, no one, like we didn't expect, like when they said 2 weeks, like okay, we'll be out in 2 weeks. That was the mindset, right?
Yeah.
But we never expected to be in lockdown for almost 2 years.
Right.
That was the most ridiculous thing that I never thought I would ever imagine. And then, like, what the pandemic has taught a lot of us was it gave us time to reflect. That's why, like, a lot of people, when we're not able to see our friends, we're not able to go out, we're just stuck in our rooms with the camera, with the TV, with our families.
With a ghetto PS4.
Ghetto PS4, PS1.
My PS1 is iPad, and I was stuck with my. When Among Us was a big thing in the pandemic,
Dude,
I was using my cell phone part.
Me too.
Like everyone, and then I didn't know Discord was a thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I would be typing out like, "No, this person's sus," and then they're like, "No, Don's quiet. He's sus." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about?" Like, Don, you're in the Discord.
Oh my
I was not on the
gosh.
Discord.
I forgot that was a game of it was that. TikTok was popping up big time on that time too. But honestly, like it really made a lot of people reflect, and I think that's what made a lot of people depressed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you think also our generation, right? We're only like a year apart.
Yeah.
I think actually months because I'm still 26. I'm 27 in August.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
August 22. You want to get me gifts, please?
Whoa, August
Like and subscribe.
22?
Yeah.
I'm February 22.
Oh snap!
Damn, we're 22
Oh boy.
boys. Let's
Heck
go.
yeah, we're on the cusp.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a Leo with a Virgo cusp. So
I'm
when you meet me, because a lot of people they're like, "Oh, he's a Leo. That's why he's like that." I'm
Yeah.
like, no, when you meet me, I'm a Virgo. I'm very like chill.
Yeah.
And then like surprise.
I'm a Pisces, but I'm not emotional yet.
Give him a few Patron. Let's see what happens.
Give me a few shots and then I'll be emotional for you.
We'll be emotional together. We'll be doing karaoke. But like, our generation, right? We're very big advocates of promoting mental health.
Yeah.
And you see that now in the workspace in Gov Guam and private sectors where they're trying to, deviate. They want to prevent worker burnout. They're trying to prevent, especially frontline workers, right?
Yeah.
Who were out in the field during COVID. Like while the rest of us were off, while I was eventually furloughed from my retail job, I was still blessed to get pandemic on assistance. I was still blessed that my company at the time was paying me. But these guys, people were like, oh, they got overtime. Like, I think they deserve that and more because, people are still, they're still kind of traumatized from the pandemic. I have healthcare worker friends where they're like, no, I will not take overtime anymore.
Yeah, no, like going back to like, I interned at public health and during the time of my graduating semester, that was the time we came back for the first time in person for sessions. So I actually had to work in the front lines. So I did the COVID testing at the Teads site. I did the vaccination clinics in the mall. But the Teads testing site, that was brutal. That was brutal. I had to wake up almost every like Friday and Saturday at 5 a.m. and prep by 6 a.m. to open and test about between 500 to 1,000 people for COVID.
I was one of those people.
That's insane. I might have tested you.
You might have, and then you were HIPAA trained, so you didn't say hi. But
yeah. Hey, I was doing my job. I had to be professional.
You could have said hi. You said, hey, what's up first?
I cannot like, hey, man, how you doing?
But, shout out to the folks during that time when I got COVID the first round. I was like, man, what do? I don't have food. I don't cook. I'm broke. And then the ISO facility was still up and running. I was a journalist at the time. And I was reporting from there. And I was like, yo, this is dope. I get a view. I get food delivered. And I'm in a fancy hotel room.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. But like really, it was still, I still got cabin fever because like I didn't talk to anybody. Like, granted, the next door guy who was also on the balcony, I'm like, hey, what's up, kuya? He's Filipino, but like, I get it. Like when I'm not to that degree, but like when I was a journalist, I remember when a murder incident happened, first thing I did was like go and try to get the story right. But I don't compare that to like being that's juicy, that gets like the clicks or whatever, or that gets like, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is trying to get the story. But really, that's once in a blue moon. But I'm compared to like being a frontline worker every day, you're going out, you're testing these people and their families to make sure that the people of Guam are safe.
Yeah.
So like that takes a toll on you, and you got to be careful too, because if you live with your mom and your sisters who you don't know, they might have comorbidities.
Yeah.
And then you might take home the virus. So it's like something. I know people who they moved out just to keep their family safe.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah. So when I first told my mom that I'm going to be working in the front lines for my internship, the first thing that she said to me was that she was scared, and I told her that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. So I told her like, just prep a plastic bag so I can put all the clothes that I was at the site with in there, so I don't contaminate anything or anyone or any property in our house. And I'm just gonna go straight to the shower and just just clean myself up. So I don't want to make you get infected, because she does have some comorbidities, and then that's the one thing that it kind of got me scared, because as much as I didn't want to be working in the front lines, that's what I was assigned to do, and that was during a crucial time too. Like we were getting like, fortunately enough, like the COVID virus, the COVID-19 on Guam was not as bad as compared to the state, fortunately. But the fact that, you know, a lot of people were still getting, you know, positive cases and everything, it's really scary. Like, you don't know, like there are people that don't even that are asymptomatic that can be COVID positive.
I wish I was
Yeah.
one of those. No, dude,
No,
I was a
hey,
wreck.
I'm gonna be honest too. I wish I could knock on wood somewhere, but like I have not been tested for positive for COVID at all, at all. I'm like very like fortunate. I'm surprised.
You know what they say about people who don't get COVID?
But
They're not friends.
whoa, yeah, we're not friends, we're brothers. Hey, I got you. I got you.
But like, because you know, like they're like, oh, you don't go out to social events, you know. But like,
Dude.
no, like get yourself tested if you're feeling sick.
Yeah.
CDC just lifted the guidelines. You no longer have to isolate for 5 days.
Mhm.
It's once you are not feeling feverish anymore, that's the
Yeah.
time you can go back. Vaccines do help. We're not gonna get into that, but you know, to shift it into a lighter note,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for people who, you know, they're afraid to come out of their shell? Like, I tell people I don't dance because you know, same here. When I look in the mirror, I look at videos, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a stiff. I tell people I'm a stiff noodle. You know, can you imagine a stiff noodle? But like,
Mhm.
you know, again, it wasn't until like my stuff happened to me, but we don't want that for people. We want them to like come up out of the show, be themselves,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
what they want to like. I remember I was telling Thea and a few people I was ashamed of like liking Justin Bieber's songs. I hate when
Dude, there's nothing wrong.
I know, but you know, you're a middle schooler, and then I tell people, oh shoot, I got the Blink 182 tattoo right here. I'm like, people don't understand me. They don't know
Yeah.
real music. They don't get this speaks to my soul.
Mhm.
And then what's this crud over here talking about falling in love? What does he know? Like, we're not the same age.
Yeah.
And then, you know, now I'm unapologetic of what I like. I like country. I like ska. I like what I
Mhm.
like. What advice do you got for people to be okay with liking what they like and just go out with it? They like anime. They like whatever songs they're into with some weird indie stuff. If you like
Yeah.
it, like it.
No, yeah. Honestly, you know, regardless of what we do, we're all going to be judged. And being judged is okay because, you know, people are always going to have their own opinion of what they think about you and what you listen to, what you work as. But honestly, we're just trying to get by. People who try to make criticism all the time, like, dude, like, they have the time in their lives, but we don't want to waste our energy towards, you know, answering or, you know, reflecting that same energy back to them. Like, we know better. We definitely know better. And the one thing that I always keep in mind is that if you enjoy doing certain things, whether if it's watching anime, listening to certain like music like K-pop or watching K-drama and all that, like don't be ashamed. There's people like you that have that same interest. And that's the beautiful thing is that when you're able to open up, when you're able to open up about your own interests, you won't know who you'll have a special connection with. You can build a lot of relationships and friendships just by watching anime together. You can like have people who listen to the same K-pop group. Like I don't know if you've seen videos on TikTok or on YouTube of like people watching BTS.
Yeah.
And like when you see them at a concert, you see people dancing with each other,
Yeah.
and I bet they don't even know each other.
Right. And they're just vibing.
They're just vibing.
They're just
Exactly.
chilling. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we just want to vibe.
We just want to vibe, and that's my message. Just vibe out, be yourself, express who you are, regardless of what you do. There's always going to be people that would, you know, judge or like comment about it, but that's okay. People's opinions will always be their opinions. It's nothing, you know, nothing more than that. And we just gotta learn how to live with it, live, you know, live by in this world of technology. And a lot of things do get passed by quickly through technology, whether it's through like Twitter or X. Sorry. See, that's how you know we're like, you know, we're kind of OGs right now because
We're
this
old.
X is now Twitter. Oh,
my-
it was Twitter.
My ex icon stole the egg, but like, but you know, at the end of the day, to take what Van said into heart, don't be shy.
Yeah.
It's okay to be you, unless you like unless what you like is illegal. Then
And check yourself.
before I check you, but like, nah, but like to wrap it all up, don't be ashamed of yourself. Like what you like, and just vibe. Mr. Van, where can we find you? Where can we your socials, and where can we watch you on Twitch? What you're at? What you're at?
So on Twitch, the name is Evander. So that's ALOEVANDER. Don't ask me how I came up with that name. All I just thought was aloe vera, and I was like, oh, Vera Vander. Like it kind of, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but I just thought it was unique at the time. So Evander on Twitch. My Instagram is Evander De Guzman Evander De Guzman _. So you can check me there. I'm very active on Instagram compared to X. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys, having me here. I really had a lot of fun.
Thank you for coming. And do you stream? Do you have a streaming schedule?
I don't have a streaming schedule now that I'm taking my masters right now, but
So-
I do stream whenever I'm available.
Follow him on follow him on the gram so you can know when he's streaming, and you can probably see us yelling and being a little toxic
Yeah.
on Valorant, because that's
Yeah.
all I play. Thank you so much, Van, for coming on board, and thank you guys for watching. Until next time, stay charchalu. Adios.